What is going on, everybody? It is your boy, the American F1 fan, Eric Ringle here, and we are live for the Canadian Grand Prix. You'll notice brand new setup today as I've worked the office and changed some things around. I'm sitting now at my desk. How is everyone doing? Let me know in the chat how you guys are doing today as we get ready for the Canadian Grand Prix. Remember, there are several ways you can support my channel. You guys can like and subscribe. So if you guys like and subscribe to my channel, we're nearly at 1,000 subs, as you will see above my head here. We've got the nice little counter up here. We are 33 away. Yeah, 33 away from 1,000 subscribers. And then, if you guys also want to as well, throughout the race, you guys can send in super chats. I'll read those out on the air. And then you can send them either one of two ways. You can see it up in the upper left-hand corner. Sorry. You can send either a super chat or send a donation through Cash App. Let me see how the audio sounds, because I've kind of changed setups. I want to see how the audio sounds. Ooh, wow, the audio sounds amazing. Sounds so much better than usual. Sorry. So you can send super chats or donations through Cash App if you look them up in the upper left-hand corner. And you get to make me do some fun, crazy things as we get ready for the Canadian Grand Prix. We've got literally a half an hour before the race begins. Let's see. So anybody that's watching right now, did you guys did by any chance you catch the qualifying from yesterday? Because qualifying was absolutely nuts yesterday. Excuse me. Literally in Q1, the whole field was like separated by not even a second. Like, it was absolutely crazy to see how the field was so separated by so little. So I think with that being said, we're going to see a pretty crazy race today. I think the field is going to be really, really, really close together. I think it's going to be extremely close. We saw the likes of the Aston Martins with Fernando Alonso had a really good qualifying yesterday. The medium tires seem to work extremely well for him. You had the Ferrari. Lewis Hamilton had a great qualifying session yesterday. If you do look at it, though, Leclerc was a little bit off the pace. Piastri was a little bit off the pace. Lando Norris definitely off the pace, as he was literally 7/10 down in qualifying. So he's been showing to kind of struggle. You've got the likes of, like I said, the field is just absolutely jumbled up. Especially going into today's race. As we'll run down the grid order, because the biggest thing is, obviously Yuki Tsunoda took a 10-place grid penalty for today due to passing under the red flag, and the car he passed under the red flag was literally Oscar Piastri's car that had hit the wall in free practice 3. So we got it looks like two cars are going to be starting from pit lane today. It looks like Gasly and Lawson will both be starting from pit lane. So running order is Russell starting from pole position with Max Verstappen right next to him. And Max Verstappen is literally that 1 point away from getting the race ban. And you know, Martin Brundle made his comments yesterday about what he thinks the field should do. And I heard a lot of people complaining about what he said, but I mean, he's not necessarily totally wrong. I mean, a lot of teams are thinking it. Let's be honest with you. A lot of teams are thinking about what they could possibly do to rattle Max today. And that's one of the things that very well could rattle Max is, getting him that last point he needs to receive a race ban and really hamper his chances of, potentially winning the championship this year. It's just funny to see how everybody lost their minds when he made that comment the other day. And like I said, I get it, but it's teams are thinking it. Teams are thinking it today in the Grand Prix. So it's definitely something to think about. So then you've got Oscar Piastri starting from third. Kimi Antonelli starting fourth, which, what's funny is there was a lot of people that were talking about how Kimi was way off the pace of George, didn't look as fast. He was having to use the soft compounded tires, the C6, which is the softest in Pirelli's range, compared to, George Russell, who was using the C5 medium tires that seemed to go a little bit longer, but seemed to be the qualifying tire to be on yesterday. So, it'll be really interesting to see if he's going to be just as fast on those medium tires. You got Lewis Hamilton starting fifth again. Lewis Hamilton had a pretty decent qualifying in a very close qualifying session. You have Fernando Alonso starting in sixth place, which, I mean, again, he was another one of those guys that if you watched yesterday during qualifying, absolutely amazing on the medium compounded tires. The car just ran so well on the mediums. We even saw him go to the mediums one last time in Q3 to see if he could, potentially get a little bit higher up on the grid and potentially set a much faster lap. Didn't do it. You got Lando Norris starting all the way down in seventh. But like I said, Lando Norris starting in seventh position, this was such a close qualifying session in general that even just one mistake cost you your whole lap, cost you, positions. And that did yesterday with, Lando Norris basically being 7/10 off the front of the rest of the grid. You got Charles Leclerc starting in eighth. Leclerc really screwed up his final qualifying lap. Had a really good chance to put himself in a position, in the top five, maybe, top three, but he had a mistake just after finishing the first sector, which he had set a purple first sector, and then had that mistake, and it absolutely cost him. So he's starting down in eighth. You got Alexander Albon starting in ninth. Yesterday during qualifying, we saw his engine cover completely blow off in Q1. And I mean, just strewn his engine cover all over the grid, or all over the last straight before the chicane going into the Wall of Champions. You had Franco Colapinto, best qualifying session of the year so far for him. And a guy that, we've been hearing, rumbles that maybe, he's destined to be out of the car here soon. Has a great qualifying session yesterday. He's qualified 10th. You got Nico Hulkenberg starting at 11th. Nico's just been proving that the Kick Sauber, he can basically any car you put him in, and he is awesome. Then you got Isaac Hadjar starting in 12th. He took a grid penalty yesterday for impeding during Q1 and Carlos Sainz Q1 lap there at the very end, and he ended up basically hampering his qualifying session. So he got a 3-place grid penalty. You got Bierman and Ocon from Haas, which is this is their 200th race weekend. They're starting 13th and 14th, but they were showing pace at times this weekend, especially in free practice 3. They were getting relatively close. You've got Gabriel Bortoleto starting 15th. Gabriel still showing that he's really starting to get underneath this car, and he's starting to nice try there, pal. We do not do this kind of stuff here, so you will be removed. I hate when when you get bots that come onto this channel. Let me actually do this. Let me ban them from my channel. There we go. It's unfortunately going to show up on my screen, even though... There we go. All right. Deleted those off. Hopefully y'all can't see it. You got Carlos... excuse me. So, yeah, Gabriel Bortoleto for kick starting in 15th place. 16th, you got Carlos Sainz. Again, his qualifying got hampered by Isaac Hadjar. So that was kind of a mess. You got Lance Stroll starting in 17th. He looked fast in qualifying and then just couldn't put a good last lap together to really kind of get it up at the front of the grid. Then you got Yuki Tsunoda starting 18th. He was basically supposed to start last today with the 10th-place grid penalty he got, which was a BS grid penalty to begin with anyways. It didn't make sense. But then you've got Liam Lawson starting in 19th and Gasly starting in 20th. I have not seen yet what the reasoning behind him starting, both of them starting in pit lane today. So whoever's watching with me, if you guys know why they are starting in pit lane today, just let me know in the live chat. Let's see. Just running through some F1 news and notes to see if there was showing any reason as to why they're both starting from pit lane. So like I said, guys, let me know in the comments section down below. I've got to do one thing here. Oops. Need to move this over here. Continue to live timing. Actually, let me... Do. All right, got the timing screen up and available. So you guys will see a different timing screen today. I did get my F1 TV for doing the for ordering the game, the F1 25 game. We got a free 1 month trial of F1 TV, so the timing screen will look a lot different today. But typically I use F1 Dash, so if you guys want to go use them, great dash to look at timing. Got a great setup there. I've got the link down in the description if you guys want to use that as well. So let me know. We are 16 minutes away from the race beginning. So if you guys have any questions, comments, let me know in the comment section down below, or let me know in the live chat. Like I said, if you guys are new to my channel, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and you guys can donate all throughout the race. super chats or through Cash App. If you guys do any of these, I will do these live, and I will do any of these live. And as you can see back here, one of these is added to the Wall of Fame. Got 3 on there already as it is, so we can always keep adding more. Excuse me. As we're getting the Canadian national anthem right now. Let's see. I'm gonna see if I can set up a poll here while we're waiting. Actually, let me see if I can do. Ooh, I can do that. Let's try this. For some odd reason, I can't set up polls right now. That's okay. So we will. They're just getting ready. All right. Talking to Laura Winters, talking to Christian Horner about the penalty, and we've all talked about it. I think ad nauseum is the penalty point. You know that we're so close to with Max Verstappen. He's got one more penalty point before he gets a race ban. Trying to get because I'm having to kind of redo my timing screen a little bit just to make sure the timing is not totally off. See if we've got any other news before we begin today's race. We're going to go take a look at Twitter here real quick. Just make sure nothing else is really going on right now at the Canadian GP latest. Let's see if any news. Let's see. Just love reading stuff like that. People commenting about it, because if people are watching the Sky Sports feed, which I'm not right now, they're complaining about Danica Patrick on TV. Let's see. Just kind of making sure we're on the right channel. People already wishing for absolute carnage going into turn 1, lap 1. There we go. Had to make sure I found the right feed. We will watch international feed. We'll turn that on. That hasn't quite started on F1 TV. If you guys are watching along with me, let me, I need to use the restroom real quick. So let me do this real quick and take a quick little break before we get into the race. I'm going to use the restroom. So we'll do this little screen right here. Sorry. I had to change. All right, we are back. We are back. I always get a notification when my audio goes down or when I'm not talking. All right. So we're just waiting for the live broadcast on F1 TV. I actually could go to F1 Live. We'll go to F1 Live while we're waiting. Piastri will win. See, so here's the thing, and I will say this, Paolo. Thank you for commenting, by the way. Piastri's got a good chance. My only concern is that he was showing that he wasn't. I don't know if he's as fast as George Russell. George Russell was showing a lot of speed, you know, when he was just on the medium compounded tires, let alone to the softs. Like, he's much faster on the. So what I'm hoping for is that we'll see Piastri's speed really kind of, take flight when they go to use the mediums and the hards in the race. That's what I'm hoping for Piastri's sake, because Piastri's really going to need that today. This is going to be, that's the hard thing about today too. And I will say that is this is a hard race to really call on who, I think is going to win, because this field has been so close all throughout qualifying. We saw how close this field was in Q1. We saw the field literally separated by less than a second. So, anything's up for grabs today, and especially, with Max Verstappen having to kind of be careful today, that could open him up to some attacks from behind. You've got other teams that could potentially, really pull a worldly with, strategies today, because you've got so many different strategies you can go with today. So it'll be really interesting, but I wouldn't say that Piastri couldn't win it today. I just think it's literally so close throughout the whole field. Let me go to my live timing screen, make sure everything is working. There we go. All right, there we go. Got that up and running. Let me bring back up the chat screen here real quick. Let's see, because I just saw you comment, so I want to be able to read it. Let's see, Paolo. I know that Piastri saved some medium compounds. That's why I believe he had a chance. Yeah. I see. That's the thing, is I'm not sure if Max makes podium or not. It's just I think it's gonna depend, because Lewis looked pretty fast throughout qualifying. You've got Lando starting back from 7th. You've got Charles Leclerc starting from 8th. You've got a Williams and Albon starting 9th. That, all these teams were showing an amazing amount of speed throughout qualifying yesterday. And there's not much difference between all the sets of tires. If you're watching the live feed, there's literally not much difference between the soft and the medium. And then going from the medium to the medium to the hard tire, it's like a 400th of a second to like there's just not much gap today. So, but okay, I'm going to put out my predictions today. Here's my predictions for the race. I think George Russell holds on to victory today. I think he holds on from pole position. I'm going to go Oscar Piastri second. And I'm going to go for a shock Lewis Hamilton third place on the podium. That's what I'm going to go for. So I'm going to go George Russell with the win, Oscar Piastri second, Lewis Hamilton with a shock podium position for today. But we'll see. I mean, like I said, that's the thing is, just Piastri, especially the fact that he saved some soft tires or some medium tires for the race is good. Because we don't know how much George has left, as we'll go to the timing screen now. There we go. So we have the timing screen up, and do that. Let me bring this up. Pop out the chat. Oops. There we go. Perfect. All right. We are all set. So, okay. So, tire rundown. As you guys can see on the screen, you got Russell, Verstappen, Piastri, Antonelli, Hamilton, and Alonso all starting on mediums. You got Norris and Leclerc looking to run a little bit longer, starting on hards. You got Albon, Colapinto, Hulkenberg, Hadjar, and Bierman all starting on mediums. And then the rest of the field from Ocon on down, all on the hards to start off today. But again, as I was saying, there's not much difference between the medium and the hard. There's not much difference between those two tires. So okay, so we're now at 2 o'clock. So on to the formation lap we go. So guys, remember, if you guys are new to my channel, hit that subscribe button. Hit the like button as well. And then if you guys want to send donations or super chats throughout the race, I'll read those out on air. And depending on your donation amount, I will do whatever the donation amount says up here. So you can actually get yourself on the wall of fame that's right here above my head. We've got 3 people there so far, but I'd love to add more names. So, like I said, subscribe to the channel if you guys are new. We're 33 away from 1,000. That would be a huge milestone to hit. And then hit the like button as well. It pushes this video out to Formula One fans that may be looking for an alternate commentary. Trying to see where I can set my volume on my TV without the audio picking up. Okay. I think that's good where we're at. I can hear it just enough. Okay, there we go. I think I've got audio exactly where I want it to be. Hold on, having to refresh the timing screen, so give me just a minute here. All right, 5 red lights, and we are underway. Here we go. George Russell, great start. Oscar Piastri, great start. And George holds position. Kimi getting up himself into 3rd place, potentially. Great job by Kimi to get up into 3rd. You've got Max Verstappen bookended by the Mercedes. Great start by Antonelli. He's on the podium now. Still no contact. Everything going well so far. Colapinto going for it. Oh, forces Albon off the road. Oh, and then almost. Wow, almost collected Colapinto there. There goes Hadjar past Albon. Verstappen's now fallen a second outside of Russell. But Antonelli's right on the back end of Verstappen so far still. Look at this. Everybody's real close together. And Lawson and Gasly are not far off the back end of the pack either. Yeah, Hulkenberg's up the 9th, so he's in the points. But he's already 1.4, 1.6 off of Leclerc. Trying to fix the timing screen. So far, not a whole lot's happening. Yeah, Antonelli's dropped almost 2 seconds back of Verstappen. Piastri's already 3 seconds off the lead. Hamilton 4, Alonso's 4. Norris didn't make up any positions. Not a good start for him, but he's typically not known as a good starter. All the dust and grass and all that stuff getting kicked up. So you're going to have Hadjar potentially have a pass here on Colapinto for 10th. Sonoda's up to 17th. The Stroll's falling back to 18th. So Verstappen now within a half a second of George. Nope. You sure don't. Will not be having that kind of BS on my channel. Trying to get people to go to a pirated stream. So let's see, Verstappen's still within a second here. So now the top 10, literally there's only 2 cars within the top 10 that are within DRS of the car ahead of him, and that's Verstappen and Alonso. George Russell's still holding on, and Max keeps inching a little bit closer on every lap. Max Verstappen just setting fastest lap. Antonelli's 2.1 off the back end of Verstappen. Kimi Antonelli maybe trying to save tires right now more than anything else, maybe to run a little bit longer. Great job by George here so far. Max just not gaining anything on him, on George on the DRS straights, even though he's got DRS. Unless George may be doing a good job of using his ERS to keep him behind here. Verstappen's lost a little bit of time through that first sector. He's almost a second off of George. So far, George doing a really good job here. Yep, Verstappen's 1.1 off the back end of George, so he lost DRS. Maybe Max is realizing that he probably needs to save the tires a little bit here. Yeah, George got a really, they're showing the replay of the race start. George just got a really good start. And then Oscar Piastri losing that position to Kimi Antonelli. Little concerning for Oscar's chances of winning the race. Russell, 6/100ths of a second better, 6/100ths of a second better of a reaction over Verstappen. Jeez, that may have ruined Alex's floor. Man, how did that not break any part of that front wing? Jeez. This is Hulkenberg watching this from behind. How close? Oh! Man. Hulkenberg being right place at the right time was able to pass both Colapinto and Albon. Everybody from Hadjar back has DRS. Alonso's gotten into DRS of Hamilton. I think everybody's trying to save tires, though, right now on lap 8, going on to lap 9. Ooh, somebody locked up. There was a little bit of tire smoke there. So now you got the Haas's coming up to the back end of Albon. I've got to wonder, you've got, Piastri radio. Front degradation is better than free practice 2. Rear degradation is worse. Yeah, 11th through 16th right now all have DRS on each other. Or 12th through, 11th through 16th, yeah. All have DRS. While everybody else is falling outside. I'm telling you, Leclerc has fallen almost 4 seconds behind Norris, but I think he's another guy that's trying to save tires right now, is like Antonelli is, I think. Verstappen's trying to save him. Piastri's trying to save him. Hadjar's just fallen out of DRS of Colapinto, though. Leclerc radio. These tires are not great. We are seeing higher degradation than expected on medium, as well with graining. Okay. I'm hoping that's the case. And now Kimi Antonelli's gotten to within DRS of Verstappen. And here comes Norris up to Alonso now. So I'm wondering if the mediums are already starting to fall off a little bit. Because now you've got Norris has gotten up to Alonso, and he's going to have a chance here soon. Verstappen radio. Thoughts on tire, please, Max? Yeah, not good. Very fragile. So the mediums are a very fragile tire. As Norris is going to have a good run here on Alonso just after the chicane. Ooh, Alonso goes a little wide, so they're going to be right. And Norris is going to make this pass look easy on Alonso. Norris now up into 6. Making passes look easy on Alonso there. Yeah, you can definitely see the hard compound of tires, I think, is starting to come into the window that they needed to on lap 11, lap 12. You're starting to see the hards work well. Antonelli's chasing Verstappen down. Here we go. He's going to have DRS on. God dog it. We are monitoring an issue. Oh, dang it. I didn't read that in time. Alex is dealing with an issue on his car. Here comes Antonelli. Oh, Max into the pits. Max is already into the pits. On lap 13, Max into the pits. Going on to a set of hards. Good stop there by Verstappen. Albon's gotten ahead of Hadjar. Yep, the hard compounded tires are starting to come in because now you're seeing the medium tire runners starting to struggle. As Ocon's now... Here goes Ocon to the inside of Hadjar. Nice pass by Ocon. Up into 12th. Great job. Russell being told to box now. Ooh, nice job by Sainz there. Going to the inside of Bortoletto. They'll be side by side on that backstretch. Russell's into the pits. Russell falls down to 7th, but he's going to... Not much of an undercut there for Verstappen. Hadjar's into the pits. Russell came out just ahead of Hülkenberg, but he's almost 2 seconds ahead of Verstappen. Norris's radio. Russell is pitted. This is plan A. We need one of those amazing races from you here. Looks like Antonelli's going to be into the pits on this lap. Yep, Antonelli into the pits. Here we go. Colapinto's into the pits. Colapinto with a slow 3.4 second stop. Kimi came out in 9th. He's just behind Verstappen by, oh man, he lost several seconds to Verstappen. Lando gonna get around Lewis now, up into 2nd place as Lewis has been asked to pit. Alonso's into the pits as well, it looks like, because they're both falling down the order. Alonso fell all the way to 18th. Yeah, the mediums were supposed to be going to lap 15, but we saw pit stops happening as early as lap 11. So here's Max, who's now up to 5th. Oh, that was on Hülkenberg. Okay. Here comes Piastri. Norris will take over the lead of the race with Leclerc right behind him. Good stop by Piastri there. Piastri comes out just ahead of Albon. Here comes Kimi. This is on Hulkenberg. Makes the pass and gets it done cleanly. Very nice. Antonelli now up into 5th. Hulkenberg now down to 6th. Looks like Bierman just got passed by Sainz for 11th. Oh, Jesus. My God. Yuki Tsunoda's up into 13th now. Yeah, Yuki's up to 13th now after passing Bortoletto. Ocon now within DRS of Albon. You've got Piastri and DRS of Hulkenberg. George is not really gaining a whole lot, though, on Leclerc, though. He's only 2.8 behind. He's 2.8 behind Leclerc, but hasn't made up a whole lot of time on him yet. Here comes Piastri. This is on Hulkenberg. Easy pass there. Hulkenberg's tires have got to be gone. Yep, Bierman into the pits now. Excuse me. Come on, Ocon. You got to make this pass now. You got to make it soon. Here comes Esteban. Esteban will make the move on Albon. Let's see if Albon doesn't pit here. Hulkenberg's now into the pits. Albon not going to pit yet. Ooh, Carlos kind of lost it a little bit there. He was. Now there's Hamilton around Albon. Man, Ocon's only 8 seconds back of Piastri? That's weird. Piastri hasn't made up a ton of time. Like, I figured that gap would have grown. Albon's radio. I don't really know why you don't listen to me. It really annoys me. Jesus, Albon. My God, man. Calm down. Okay, Ocon was being smart. He knew the race wasn't with Hamilton, but now he's going to try to use Hamilton. Albon radio. Ooh, Albon is not happy. He wanted to pit. He wanted to already be pitted. Russell's still not gained a whole ton on Leclerc yet. So Norris and Leclerc have done a good job of watching over these tires. Albon still hasn't pit yet, and he's just not lost a position to Tsunoda, who's now up into the points. Excuse me. Verstappen within 1.6 of Russell. Russell's now starting to gain on Leclerc. Albon's literally bringing everybody back into DRS of each other back there. Here goes Gabrielle around Albon, and they're keeping Albon on it. What the hell is Williams doing? Pit Albon already. He's just losing positions left and right. There goes Alonso around Albon. What is James Vowles doing? You are literally costing Albon so much time because he's going to fall to the back of the grid to 20th position. You know he's already having engine issues. You got Stroll now right behind him. Like, I don't understand what Williams is doing with Albon right now. Here goes Stroll on Albon. Stroll by Albon. Finally, Jesus Williams. That was ridiculous. They finally pit Albon there. Like, look at those tires, looked god awful. That was ridiculous. Okay, so George is now almost within a second of Leclerc, but Norris has been holding Plan B. Yeah, Leclerc thinks he may be able to go maybe one stop here. Here comes George. Stroll looks to be in the pits. Yep, Stroll's into the pits. The first of the guys that started on the hard compound of tires, so he's into the pits. Going on to a used set of hards. Kind of a weird move there. Because he's going to have to make it. Stroll went to another set of hards. He's going to have to pit again. Russell's within a second of Leclerc. Leclerc's now picked up his pace because he's within. He's now brought the gap down from him to Norris down to about 2.5 seconds. Ooh, Russell's going to be right. Oh, yeah. Russell's going to get a good run here on Leclerc. He almost had that pass made before the DRS zone. Jeez. So Russell's up in the second. Now going to chase down Norris. Verstappen within a second of Leclerc. Excuse me. There we go. Verstappen starting to catch up to Leclerc. Just couldn't make the pass into there. Man, Verstappen's still not making the pass on Leclerc here. Yep, Leclerc's going to pull into the pits, so that'll move Verstappen up into third. Let's see how many places he ends up losing here. Yeah, so Leclerc goes on to another set of hards and is now basically committed. Alonso, nice pass on Tsunoda there, but now Leclerc's committed to a two stop. But he did come out ahead of Hamilton. Looks like Norris is coming into the pits. Yeah, making sure that he doesn't get undercut by Leclerc. Ooh, medium tire going on to Norris. Maybe he tries to go to the end here. Nice stop by Norris. 2.2. Very nicely done. Gasly's up to 14th. Great job by Gasly with his run so far. Looks like you can see some graining though going on there. Leclerc's radio. Why have we boxed? Why did we box? We're on plan B. Leclerc was trying to tell the team that his tires were fine, but they apparently did not believe him. Wow, Oscar Piastri sets fastest time in the race. You got Gasly, so Lawson in 13th. You got Gasly, Hulkenberg, Colapinto, Hadjar, and Bierman all together now. Alonso's been gaining on signs the last 4 laps. Pierre Gasly had a look on Lawson, but Lawson was able to keep ahead. Man, Gasly now getting right up on the back end, but this is going to bring Gasly, Hulkenberg, Colapinto, Hadjar, Bierman all together now, and it's going to be a six-car race here between these guys. And Bierman, what the hell happened to Bierman? Bierman just dropped 2 seconds off of Hadjar. Okay, good. Now I get to see what the heck Bierman did that he lost 2 seconds. Oh, Christ's sake, Bierman, come on. Ugh, Bierman making mistakes. As now Alonso's within DRS of Sainz, but Alonso and Sainz both ran extremely wide into that corner. Alonso ahead of Carlos. Stop it. Verstappen's 4 seconds off of Russell. Probably a lot of tire saving going on right now, I think. God. Here we go. Colapinto trying to chase down Hadjar. Ooh, Hulkenberg's going to have a shot on Gasly here. Something just shot off the... Hulkenberg gets around Gasly now for 14th. And now Bierman's already gathered back up to this group of 6. Gasly radio swap positions with Colapinto. Ooh. Wow. Hamilton radio. Yeah, I'm nowhere in this race, mate. I don't know what's happened. Pace is good considering the... Oh, Hamilton's got damage. Where did Hamilton pick up damage from? Here comes Kimi now. Kimi's caught up to Verstappen. He's 1.2 behind Verstappen here. It's almost within DRS. Okay, Antonelli's within a second. Did he get DRS on that? Verstappen into the pits again with 32 laps left, 33 laps left. He's back into the pits again. On to another set of hards for Verstappen. Gets out ahead of Hamilton, so the top six have kind of all separated themselves. Alonso's now gotten past Ocon for 8th. Hulkenberg's moved up to... Hulkenberg's moved up to 12th. I'm going to use the restroom here real quick. So let me step out as Antonelli's now into the pits. They're doing the undercut again, potentially with Verstappen there. Antonelli onto a set of hards. Does he? Is he going to get up ahead of Oh! Antonelli and Hamilton, or excuse me, Antonelli and Verstappen right next to each other, but Verstappen just gets ahead of him. Just barely, though. Just barely. Lawson's into the pits, or Lawson will be into the pits. All right, let me step away while I use the restroom. Hold on, I'll be right back. All right, there we go. Back. I am back. See, so you got Gasly now holding up Hadjar, Bierman, Stroll, Albon. Like, he's going to try to hold him up as much as possible to let Colapinto get away. This is going to end horribly for somebody, I have a feeling. Lawson's the first car to be lapped in the race. Here's Colapinto and Bortoletto. Russell is caught up to the back end of this large group of about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cars. Russell's into the pit, so Piastri will take over the lead. Stroll having a look on the inside of Bierman. Couldn't get that job done. It's going to come out he's going to come out behind Leclerc, but way ahead of Verstappen. Kind of need a safety car right about now. Had a look. Here goes Gasly getting passed by Hadjar. I love the fact that we're showing all this group, and now Norris is starting to gain on his teammate. So Russell onto a new set of hards. There we go. Got the tires finally connected correctly there. Bierman going for a shot around and gets past Gasly. There we go, Bierman. Bierman up into 16th. The car is getting harder to drive. There is degradation. So Piastri's complaining about his tires are starting to degrade very badly. 6, 9, 12. Yeah, so if Piastri pits now, he'll come out behind it. Yeah, okay, so they're going to box Piastri this lap. He'll come out behind Antonelli, but ahead of Hamilton. Stroll gets around goes to the inside of Gasly for 17th. Oh, Gasly had to go a little wide. Piastri's into the pits now. New set of hards for Piastri to go to the end. Piastri's not far behind Antonelli there. Hamilton's into the pits now. Hamilton's not going to lose a position because Alonso's way behind him. So there goes Hamilton onto a set of hards. Seven, 8, 15. Yeah, he'll still. So Hamilton comes out just ahead of Alonso. Stroll Gasly incident going to be noted, but won't know if that gets investigated. Yeah, that's a penalty. He pushed me. So here's Hulkenberg. He's caught up to Tsunoda. That's for 11th position now. Norris has been told to box. Tsunoda does a good job there, keeping Hulkenberg behind for a little while longer. Okay, so now Stroll and Gasly incident is under investigation. Come on, Tsunoda. Let's hold up Hulkenberg here. Norris is into the pits. Leclerc now inherits the lead. Ocon and Sainz both making no. Ocon, Sainz, and Tsunoda. Bortoletto's there too. There's 4 cars going for a one-stop strategy here. Albon's been passed by Lawson. Looks like that's a pit stop. Oh, nope. No, that's Lawson getting by Albon. Ooh, Bierman. Oh, Albon is out. Engine either finally gave up or... I was going to say, he's way off track. That'll be a green flag. That'll go back to green real quick. Hulkenberg finally going to get Tsunoda here. Yep, looks like it. He's going to... Ooh, 10-second time penalty for Stroll for forcing another driver off track. Hulkenberg gets around Tsunoda. So Hulkenberg's now one spot off the points. They're trying to get Leclerc to go as long as he can to go onto a set of mediums that aren't gonna degrade. Here's Bortoleto and Colapinto. Turn 13 incident involving 87 and 6 has been noted. Wonder what happened there. Bortoleto's into the pits. He's finally getting off of his... Bortoleto onto a new set of mediums. Oscar Piastri's 1.3 behind Antonelli. Oh, yeah, you could tell. Good job, though, by Albon to get off the track and basically not cause a cause an issue. Alonso's into the pits. Piastri's radio. Leclerc's pace is dropping off. This is a straight fight between you, Verstappen, and Antonelli. Let's see. Ocon. 2, 4, 7, 10, 16. He would just drop behind Bierman if Ocon were to pit now. Leclerc radio, what are we waiting for to stop? We don't want to do too many laps on the medium. Leclerc just told him, he says the medium is a good tire for me. 19 laps left. Stroll, yep, Stroll's into the pits. So he's got a 10-second time penalty to serve there, along with the pit stop he's got. Four guys. I didn't realize Gasly hadn't stopped yet either. Got 18 laps to go. Leclerc's into the pits now. As Piastri's now right on the back end of Antonelli. New set of mediums for Leclerc to go to the end. Here we go. Piastri and Antonelli will be a good fight here. Norris is running fastest among everybody. He's got the fastest first, second, and third sectors. Norris has worked himself up into a position. Gasly's finally into the pits. And now Antonelli's almost on the back end of Verstappen. Norris is starting to gain on this group. This could be very interesting down to the end. Sainz going to force Hulkenberg to try to go to the outside of him. No doing there. Here we go. Antonelli's getting close to Verstappen. Piastri's getting close to Antonelli. Norris may come into this fight very soon. Whoa! Piastri had a look. No good, though. Oh, Lawson's got to retire. Darn it. Piastri fell a little far off, but now Norris is starting to gain on Piastri. Come on, Sainz. Hold up Hulkenberg as long as you can. Hulkenberg and Sainz are doing the Lord's work today. They're the only two cars that have not pitted yet. Wow, trying to console Lawson there. Hulkenberg finally gets around Sainz, it looks like. Hulkenberg up into ninth. Sonoda's into the pits now. Wow, look at this. Verstappen, Antonelli, and Piastri are all almost in DRS, and Norris has worked himself up into DRS, potentially. No, Ocon and Sainz now both into the pits. I was wondering why they started losing a ton of spots. Ocon's in the points right now, but he's going to have Alonso and Hulkenberg to hunt down. Jeez, look at this. Yeah, Norris has got DRS on Piastri because of this whole fight. Because we're lapped all the way to 10th place right now. Ooh, Hulkenberg and Alonso are going to come to a head here just very shortly, as they're both within DRS of each other, or Alonso's within DRS of Hulkenberg. Look at this. There's Max, there's Kimi, there's Piastri, there's Lando, the top five now. Bierman gets around Colapinto for 12th. With 10 laps left, there's a lot left to go here. Norris's radio. Lando, if there was a safety car, we would have a free stop. Would you take it for a soft? Yep. Cool. Here comes Norris. Norris is going to have a shot on Piastri. Nope. Alonso finally gets by Hulkenberg for 8th. Oh, Norris radio. Here comes Norris. Is he going to go for it? Ooh, he looked. Yeah, Piastri's almost within DRS of Antonelli, so this is pretty much Lando's last shot. Turn 14 incident involving car 87 will be investigated after the race, failing to follow race director's instructions on escape road instructions. Norris is really ringing the heck out of this car to potentially get DRS here on and get past Piastri. Here we go. Norris is so close. Does he take the shot here? And now Piastri's in the DRS of Antonelli. So Antonelli may lose his podium position here. With 6 laps to go, this got extremely interesting. Here we go. Piastri's going to have DRS. Lando's going to have DRS. Oh, man, they are really close. Piastri's really close to Antonelli now. Sonoda's now by Colapinto. Bortoletto's by Hadjar. Gasly now gets by Hadjar. Oh, here we go. Norris going for the... My goodness, look at these two right. Wheel to wheel. Come on, who's going to get this position? Oh, yellow flag. Where's... Oh, Piastri pushed Norris. Oh my God, Piastri pulled a Lewis Hamilton. We're gonna get a red flag here. We may get a red flag. We got a safety car. I would throw the red flag here. Wow, Piastri, what? Wow. I'm sorry, Piastri literally pulled the move that Button pulled to Hamilton all those years ago in Canada. Let's see here. Okay, so Norris makes the move into the chicane, right next to each other. So Norris was smart, let him ahead. Let's see. Okay, let's see here. Man. Oh, wow. Okay. Lando took responsibility, and I agree. Lando, that I don't know what Lando was thinking there. Are they going to be able to get this cleaned up in time for us to go back to racing, or are we just pretty much done? Nah, I called it. That's why I don't understand why we didn't throw the freaking red flag. We want, like, this was a chance to throw the red flag and give us an almost an amazing, exciting, like, final lap shootout. Oh, we did not zip it. Man, this is such a shame that we're going to end this race under the safety car when it's been such a great race. On to the final lap we go under. I don't get what this, like, such an anticlimactic end. So Norris makes the mistake, wrecks himself against Piastri. Get a safety car with 4 laps to go. Instead of throwing the red flag and giving us maybe a 2 or 3 lap shootout, we get the safety car to the end. Because they still had they still got like 29 minutes that they could have thrown the red flag, got that cleaned up, and let them go back racing for a couple laps. Such a shame. Double podium, though, for Mercedes today with Russell and Antonelli. Piastri just misses out on a podium. Leclerc and Hamilton, good points for Ferrari today. Alonso, 7th. Hulkenberg, 8th. Ocon, 9th. And Sainz, 10th. So anticlimactic, though. So anticlimactic. It's just such a shame because I really feel like we could have had a really good end to that race. Congratulations, George Russell, with the victory. Verstappen, 2nd place, and Antonelli completes the podium positions. You got Piastri, Leclerc, Hamilton, Alonso, Hulkenberg, and Ocon, your top 10. Antonelli gets his. Is this his first podium of his career? I think this is Antonelli's first podium. Congratulations to Antonelli to get a podium. Russell did a good job of controlling this race all race long. All right, we're going to go ahead and I think we're going to end the stream there. If there's any more breaking news after the race ends, I'll maybe record a video for it. Let's see. So great job again by George Russell. I mean, just he was able to keep, basically he was able to do exactly what he needed to all race long. He was able to control that race. And Antonelli did an amazing job off the start to get ahead of Piastri and then was able to hold that position all race long. So we'll go ahead and end the stream there, though. Thank you guys so much for watching along with me, the Canadian Grand Prix, guys. For the American F1 fan, I'm Eric Ringel, signing off.